What is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's Garage, and this is a extremely requested video. Man, these Oklahoma State troopers, boy, let me tell you, they be hiding. They are hiding. Oof. Anyways, much requested video asking about California CARB and when you'll not have to do smog checks. Well, I have some information for you on that. And we're going to talk about that today. Things that you can do if your registration is coming up and you need to do a smog check on your vehicle in California. There's been a couple of different things, and you can go over to the EPA's website about it, but where California has been pulled back like that, and it's not just California, because I had a friend of mine in North Carolina today tell me that the DMV is pausing right now. They don't know what they're doing, and you have to get smog checks in North Carolina too, unless you live in the outer counties. So if you live in like Raleigh or Charlotte or whatever, you got a smog check your vehicle. Get a safety inspection too, but not in the far. You got to do a safety inspection in the far out counties, but no smog check. But anyways, roll the intro. So welcome on back to TK's Garage. So I finally got this information in today, where now we still are waiting on the president to sign these CRAs into law. They're currently still pending. I'm going to put an image for you guys up here. Now, I believe he could have already signed them, and I haven't checked yet because I've been driving, so I don't know. But the minute that changes into law, you can actually reach out to info at EPA.gov via email, especially if you're in California, and let them know that the state of California is requiring you to get a smog check. What basically happened with these CRAs that push forward, it pulls their ability back to set emission standards and emission policy. Part of that also is smog checks, unless the U.S. government allows them to do that. Now, the only reason why I know California is in trouble here is because North Carolina, the DMV is pausing right now, and the president, as far as I know, hasn't even signed this yet. So the state of North Carolina is pausing right now. Now, that's not going to keep you from having to get a safety inspection if you live in Massachusetts, New York, Virginia, any of those states that make sure that you have tread on your tires, brakes on your pads, you know, like material on your pads, rotors aren't shot, and your frame isn't rotted. Like, you're going to get safety inspections are not going anywhere, just so you know, all right? Like, anybody that thought like safety inspections were going away, they're not. And if you're in California, that's going to be the move. They're going to switch to safety inspections, and they're going to try to push this brake pad nonsense on you in California. So what can you do to once the president signs these CRAs into law, because they've been sent to his desk now, once he signs these into law, you can, like I said, email info at EPA.gov, right? And they will respond back, and you can say, hey, look, I live in the state of California. They're requiring me to get a smog check. And that's not just California. I know Pennsylvania does it. A bunch of other states do it. But some of those states, I don't know about Pennsylvania. I only know about North Carolina for sure, because I know somebody that works at the DMV in Raleigh and in Charlotte, and they both told me the same thing, that they're pausing renewing. Like, even if registrations expire right now, there's a very similar thing to what they did during COVID. They had like a moratorium, like an extension on it, because they have to figure out what the policy is and how the state government is going to moving forward. They can't have people, they basically don't want to run afoul of federal law. Now, is California going to do that? We don't know yet. If California doesn't suspend doing the smog checks, then like I said, enough people are going to email over to the EPA that the EPA then submits it for a referral to the Department of Justice. And then the Department of Justice will go over there and go, stop that. Stop doing that. You don't have the ability to do that. And I have a feeling with California, that's probably what it's going to take. That's my guess. But if you live in Pennsylvania, if you live in any of these other places and they have, and they're pausing smog checks, for you, let me know in the comment section down below so we can start a thread on where they're pausing the smog checks. Like I said, the only place I know right now that all of a sudden paused is North Carolina. And I only know that because I know people at the DMV in 2 different big metropolitan areas there where they're not requiring the smog check right now to renew your registration because they're waiting to see how they're going to respond to the federal policy. So, and again, it's still not law. The president has to sign it. So once he signs it, it becomes law. That's literally what we're waiting on. As far as I know, in the last 2 hours, he hasn't signed it yet. I have a feeling maybe they're waiting for Monday, so he has something positive in the press. I don't understand why it wouldn't have got signed already today. But you guys can let me know in the comments if it's changed to law, like the president already signed it, because I hadn't seen it yet. But that's going to do it for me for the day, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys have an awesome Memorial Day weekend. I'm going to try. I can tell you that. I have to pick up I guess I could tease a little bit. I'm looking at picking up a H2 Hummer. And I'm looking at picking up a BMW M4. So I will keep you guys posted. Maybe I'll post a community post or something with the images, or I'll throw something up in the members tab or something if you guys want to get the inside track of what's coming. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. Make sure to give the video a big thumbs up if you like what I do, and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Like I said, make sure to get into the comments if you're in one of the states that require smog checks, and if you got a notice, or if they've paused their smog checks. Like I said, the only state that I know that's done it so far is North Carolina, and that's because of, and I think they're just getting ahead. They know the president's going to sign it, right? So that could just be North Carolina just getting ahead of it and pausing it for right now. So the only other time I've seen them pause requiring a smog check is if you're military and you're deployed or you're out of state, like you PCS to, Nellis or San Diego or something, like, you're on the other side of the country. They don't require the smog check because you're out of the state. It's similar to what they're doing now. They're putting in a code that doesn't require the smog check to renew your registration. So like I said, let me know in California if you've heard anything different yet. I'm willing to bet they're going to fight it, or they're going to try to be like, no, you still have to do it. And that's when you guys have to start emailing to the EPA so that they can refer that to the Department of Justice and smack their hand. But anyways, like I said, thank you guys very much for watching. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. Also, remember what Memorial Day is. Do me a favor, don't be running around. If you see a veteran outside, telling them thank you for your service, it ain't that day. That's Veterans Day. This is about the people that didn't come home. That's what Memorial Day is. It's the people that allow me to be an asshole, you to be an asshole out in this country. They gave their lives for that. And that's what that's about. So, send a donation to Arlington if you want to do that, or go by a national cemetery and drop some flags or something. That'd be cool. But outside of that, just understand the day off or the weekend that you're getting right now is because people didn't come home. But anyways, all right. Thank you guys very much for watching. Have a great weekend. See you guys on the next one. Peace.